Hello, it's Brendan from Tech Buzz, and today we have the IPEVO Vocal AI Beaming Bluetooth speakerphone. And what the manufacturer actually say on this particular one is it's the first speakerphone with two-way AI noise reduction and reduces background noise. In essence, it's just a normal conference speaker as such with a couple of I won't say twists as such. And typically when I hear the word AI on something there, I kind of take it a bit of a pinch of salt and beamforming. They typically have a lot of marketing get over exaggerated. This is a slight different on this particular one there. So the box itself, plain enough, it's quite good. It's got the specifications very clear. Pick up at 5 meters, nothing unusual with that. This one actually has two omnidirectional microphones, so straight away you think a lot of other ones have maybe 5. Frequency range 145 to 20 kilohertz is okay. With the speakerphone itself, with the speaker, it's a 5-watt speaker, so one thing I have noticed, the volume is not as loud as you would normally expect, but I'll go through that in a few moments. USB 2, Bluetooth 5.1. Slight niggle in mind at the moment, it doesn't always connect straight away, but you have to make sure testing it initially that it does actually work, because it's not multi-mode as some products are connecting to both, so just double checking that. Omnidirectional 360 pickup device, so basically you can turn it on or direction mode 120. Two of the key things I'm going away is the directional mode is very, very good, and we'll elaborate in a few moments on that. 40 hours life. Good news with the battery is when it's actually on charge, you can actually plug it in. So if you were in a conference call, battery was getting low, you can plug it in. 3.5 hours when you're charging time. In essence, what are this spec? Picks up to 5 meters of mic, dual mode for sound coverage. This is what we mentioned on the, particularly there at the moment, the 120 voice pickup, same details. Two-way noise reduction, removes noise with high accuracy. That is interesting. Easy to rotate, so it's physically you can pick it around. It's got Bluetooth connectivity, and probably important for a lot of people is compatibility with Zoom, Google Meet, Skype, Teams and more. And I suppose what are you actually getting? This is the mic itself. You get the user's guide as you would typically do, giving you some of the information as you would normally, just how to connect it. It also comes with a USB-C cable. Good news is it's a USB-C, which means it will plug into anything. Any of the normal you can use if you get stuck. You could use your normal Android phone. So it's actually USB-C to USB-C. So obviously that's quite good from my perspective, because if you were stuck. One thing to know as well is the cable is actually branded, its own brand name, and it's extra strong there. I have used a normal little cable for. On the unit itself, you've got the main instructions itself and how it's actually working, and then it gives you a clear idea of the buttons, what's actually you want to. So we've got the front mic, we've got a back mic. Lights telling us what's actually going on a conference call. Quite important, one of the most common used is something on mute. Power up on button, Bluetooth and charge. So they're your common buttons that you use all the time. Volume, twisted turning. Now from testing it myself, I haven't found the volume coming out overly with the 5-watt speaker, but we'll come back on that. This is where it really gets interesting. The AI mic, the AI speaker, and I'll turn them on in a few moments. This is where the Omni indirectional, so Omni basically is a 360, which I can turn. I can have in a room, anybody can talk to it in the room. Then when I'm only picking it up myself as an individual, I can turn that to the directional silicone. So I suppose to give a quick demo of what I'm talking about. In any particular room you might have background noise, and this suggested on this particular box, two-way noise reduction reduced with noise with a high accuracy. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to put a bit of background noise in the room. The idea is here is just to get an idea. So in the background, what I've done is I've put on a standard robotic Hoover type scenario. This is running, just starting to run, so it's got to start making noise. Really kind of annoying in the background, so you can hear this going. This is the top normal brand, turned up fairly high, top noise I can get it. I could turn on the speaker, but when you're listening to it moving around, you can hear it creaking around the room. if this was on a real call, people would very quickly say, really annoying, what is it, etc. I'm just going to enable some of the features there at the moment. I'm just going to enable the AI mic while continuing talking. So I've just turned, I have not turned the noise down in any other shape, just enable this. So this will kind of go, sound is changed completely. It's turned off again. You can hear it going around the room. Okay, it's going around, it's getting its bearings, and it's going to start making lots of noise. I have tried this, and actually at one call I was actually on, the dog start barking really, really loud. And I apologise on the call to say it's dog barking. People at the other end of the call did not actually hear the noise at all, never realised there was a dog barking in the room. I actually thought that was amazing as such. Really, really good. So the AI did a really good job there at the moment on that, whereas if there's any other environment it wouldn't. Typically I can connect this up directly to a laptop. I can have it connected to a laptop for a conference call. In this situation, what I've done is I've connected up to a phone and having it similar to what you have in a phone. Same principles apply, and the idea from there. So again, the noise in the background is still going on. And you can hear it tipping away in the background. 9, switching it back on again. This is a very clear thing. This is a wow. This actually works very, very well. One thing I also noticed is it's going to turn all the noise in the background off. And the noise in the background is now being turned off. One other thing I noticed straight away is when I was talking to a colleague, they were actually sitting outside a building site. I could hear them very loud, and you couldn't hear much. I enabled their microphone, which is my speaker, enabled this particular part of it, and all of a sudden there was no noise in the background, and I could actually hear the builders talking. Really interesting there. So as I said, there was a couple of different options. There's a 360, which you can turn around either direction. So we're just going to try the Omni there tomorrow. The Omni will tell me 360. Alexa, what's the weather in Sydney? Alexa, what's the weather in Sydney?
Currently, in Sydney, Australia, it's 15 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect lots of change.
What we can hear two people talking. The Alexa voice and my own voice here at the moment, which is quite okay. What I'm now going to do is do the same thing, but I'm going to ask the same question, and I'm going to put the directional. So instead of being 360, it be 120 view. So in theory, anything to the side, anything to behind. What's the weather in Sydney? Hear it in my own ear, the voice in the background, but the microphone is actually picking out talking. So because I have this on a directional here at the moment, I can only pick it up itself from my point of view. So that's really good, and that I can actually see it from that. Having tested this for a few weeks, and as the manufacturers originally said, 2-way AI noise reduction, world's first. I have a couple of niggles with it in terms of even the setup, in terms of Bluetooth connecting to ensuring that it doesn't tell you. Speaker 5 watt, not overly powerful, etc. there on that particular area. When you switch it on, it doesn't, it just gives you a noise, it doesn't let you know. It does work for a conference or onto a phone, which is brilliant, USB-C, so you have a choice. But ignore those niggles completely. This is wow. This is unbelievably wow. Those two particularly buttons, AI mic and speaker, completely drowns out the noise. Far better than some other brands that I have used. Just switching it on, switching it off there. A lot of scenarios where there's been noise in the background on calls, on Teams calls, things that variety of different noises have come up. It just works. Switching that particular. Not sure why these come defaulted off. These should be defaulted on in all occasions there. Again, I stress this is a wow product. It looks quite simple, it looks quite easy as such there, but when you try and get reduced to noise, switching those two particular buttons on, it just completely, whether it's a dog barking in the background, as happened to me on many occasions, and I say something, people haven't actually realised there's a dog barking in the background. It just picks it up there at the moment. And that is this particular problem. As I do stress, they did mention it's the world's first. We will see possibly more of this AI technology in the future. But for me, using this particular product to say it does exactly what it says, completely there at the moment. AI Beamforming, Bluetooth speakerphone, and as such, the IPEVO vocal AI beaming Bluetooth speakerphone works as described, and it is one of those products that you kind of remember and say, this is something doing something different on there. Thank you for watching Tech Buzz Ireland.